Let's be real for a second. We've all been there, right? It's late, you're scrolling online, and then you see it. The perfect pair of sneakers, that jacket, whatever. You hesitate for a second, but then that little button pops up. The one that says you can have it all right now for just a tiny fraction of the price.
That's the moment. A $200 jacket for just $50 today? It feels like a cheat code for shopping, like you're being smart. It seems so harmless, so convenient. But what if that convenience is actually a carefully designed trap? Before we get into any of that, I just want you to look at this number, 41%. That's it, no context, just let that hang in the air for a moment. In a world of easy payments, what on earth could that mean? Well, here it is. 41% of people using these buy now, pay later services missed at least one payment last year. That's not some small fringe group. That is nearly half of everyone using it. So you have to ask yourself, how does a system that feels so simple, so helpful, lead so many people into trouble?
Well, it all starts with the promise, that magic little phrase, interest-free. So let's break down what buy now, pay later, or BNPL, actually is, and how it manages to sell itself as the perfect solution.
I mean, on the surface, it's incredibly simple. It's basically a short-term loan that lets you get your stuff today and pay it off over a few weeks or months. And the huge selling point is, as long as you pay on time, there's zero interest. Sounds way better than a credit card, doesn't it? Well, that is exactly what they want you to think.
Okay, so let's look at how this thing grew. Because this simple idea didn't just get popular, it exploded. It's become a full-blown financial phenomenon.
Just take a look at this growth. Back in 2019, the whole BNPL industry was a $2 billion niche, a blip on the radar. By 2026, it's projected to skyrocket to over $127 billion. I mean, the sheer scale of that expansion is almost hard to wrap your head around.
And this quote just nails it. As one analyst put it, that's not growth. That's a financial wildfire. And whenever a fire spreads that fast, you got to ask yourself, who's getting burned?
So, who exactly is caught in this wildfire? Well, what's so wild is just how mainstream this has become. We're talking 86 million Americans. That's about 1 in 4 adults. And check out that bottom number. Less than half of these people actually plan their payments out. The rest are just kind of hoping for the best, which, goes a long way to explaining that 41% late payment number we saw a minute ago.
But this goes way deeper than just the numbers. This is all about psychology. These BNPL companies are absolute masters at exploiting the little quirks and how our brains think about money. And it all boils down to one core idea.
It's called the pain of paying. You know that little sting you feel when you hand over a bunch of cash or see a big charge hit your bank account? That's it. And that feeling is a good thing. It's a natural friction that makes you pause and think. BNPL has been engineered from the ground up to completely erase that friction.
And here's exactly how they pull it off. When you see a $200 price tag, your brain feels the full weight of that. But when it's reframed as just 4 payments of $50, your brain doesn't see a $200 decision. Nope, it sees a $50 decision. And that feels so much easier to say yes to.
And does this little brain hack work? Oh, you better believe it. Merchants who offer BNPL see their sales jump by a staggering 27% on average. Now think about that. It's not because people suddenly need 27% more stuff. It's because the payment method itself is tricking them into spending more than they ever would have otherwise.
So what happens when you combine that kind of explosive growth with a psychological trick that's designed to make you overspend? Well, you get something that experts are calling the phantom debt spiral.
And this right here, this is where things start to get really alarming. BNPL isn't just for a new pair of shoes anymore. A full 25% of users, 1 in 4, are now financing their groceries. We have literally normalized going into debt for milk and bread.
I mean, it's gotten so out of hand that you can finance a DoorDash order. And one financial expert just put it so bluntly. He said, if you need a loan to buy a damn burger, you're not the customer, you're the product.
So how does this spiral even start? It's usually pretty innocent. It might start with a necessary purchase, like a car repair. But then you use it for something a little less essential. Pretty soon, you've got all these little payments from multiple loans stacking up. Then you find yourself using a new BNPL loan just to free up cash for necessities. And then it happens. You miss one payment, the fees kick in. And then you miss another. And just like that, you're trapped.
And here is the sneakiest, most dangerous part of this whole thing. Because these little loans often don't show up on your credit report, you can rack up thousands of dollars in this phantom debt. You have no real idea how much you truly owe.
It feels like a shortcut, but it's actually financial quicksand.
Okay, so that's the problem. And it sounds pretty grim, I know. But here's the good news. This is not a hopeless situation. If you feel like you're caught in this cycle, there are clear, actionable steps you can take right now to get back in control. Here's the 5-step plan. First, you've got to run the numbers. Actually sit down and figure out exactly how much you owe across all these different services. Step 2, and this one is non-negotiable. Stop the bleeding. No new BNPL loans, period. Third, change how you think about it. It's not a bunch of small payments. It's one big debt. See it for what it is. Step 4 is a new mantra for your life. If you can't afford it without splitting it into payments, you can't afford it. And finally, Step 5. Recognize that using debt for daily essentials isn't just being clever. It's a sign of a deeper financial crisis that you need to address head-on.
So when you boil it all down, it comes to this. We have to completely reframe how we think about that pain of paying. It is not a bug, it's a feature. It is your brain's natural, healthy defense system that protects you from buying things you don't need with money you don't have. BNPL sold us on removing that friction. Your job is to put it back.
And that leaves us with one final, really powerful question to ask yourself the next time you're online and you see that tempting little button. Just ask yourself, if I had to walk into a store and hand over the full amount in cold, hard cash right now, would I still buy it? The answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know.